So today we actually have a really fun video. I made a 2021 handbag wish list in the beginning of 2021, and I wanted to react to that wish list video, what I ended up getting, and just general thoughts and everything like that, because watching that back, I feel so naive almost. So yeah, let's get into it. Hi guys, if you're new here, my name is Celesta. We talk about all things luxury shopping and handbags. If you love those things, make sure you subscribe, hit that bell notification. I do post videos every week. So I figured the easiest way to do this is that I'll watch on my iPad, and then I'll also leave it for you guys here as well. And then we'll talk about each item as I talk about it in the video. Here's my 2021 handbag wish list. If you guys have been following me for a while, you already know that I'm on the hunt for the Nano Celine Belt Bag. I'm waiting for it to be in stock in this color from my Nordstrom SA. Fingers crossed that I can get it in the next few weeks. So the first item that I talked about is the Celine Belt Bag, which is in the nano size, and I actually did end up getting this. And this was kind of a headache and a half to get to, because I normally shop at the Nordstrom in Valley Fair in the Bay Area, and the sales associate there was telling me that there was no bag in stock. Out of the entire company, there was no bags, but she'll text me when they have it available. And I waited 6 weeks, and she still kept saying like, sorry, we don't have it. And then my mom gave me the suggestion of like, hey, why don't you like call up like Palo Alto or call a different Nordstrom and see if they have it. So then I called up the Stanford Nordstrom, and they literally had it, and they were able to send it to me in like 2 days. So I was a little bit frustrated that this entire time that she kept saying that they didn't have it, but I did end up getting it. I do really like this, but unfortunately I don't feel like I reach for it that much, just because it is kind of hard to open and close. But overall, I do really like it, and I'm glad to have it in my collection. I feel like it's a very neutral color bag, and not like overly trendy either, where it'll like go out of style in like 2 years. Once we go back to work, I feel like I can finally justify getting the YSL Tote, which I've been eyeing for a while. Okay, so the next item I had on my wish list was the YSL Shopper Tote in the all like black leather. I also said that I would buy that bag when we went back into office. We didn't go back to the office. We're still sitting here. There's no kind of like timeline for when we're returning back to office. However, I did get one tote from Italic. This was gifted to me, and it's like a dupe for the YSL tote. And I feel like given that I have that, I don't feel the itch to buy the YSL tote right now, especially like not going into the office, and it's literally the exact same bag. So here's the tote. I mean, it's pretty much the same. I think the only difference is that right here, instead of like pulling out and it says like YSL on it, it's just like a key chain. I also like haven't used this yet because we never went back to the office, but I am really glad to have this. I think that like down the road, if I still decide that I like this bag and I use it a lot and I still want the YSL one, obviously post-pandemic, then maybe I'll decide to get one. But I also like have other totes and other big bags that I don't really feel like it's a necessity. Next, I'm hoping to add something from Chanel in my collection. I don't really know what I want yet, but I'm hoping that once the pandemic dies down, I can go to the stores and figure out what I like. Okay, early 2021 Celesta was so naive. Who would have thought that at the time? It's kind of funny that I listed the Chanel Classic Flap around $7,000, and that is what I budgeted to buy from Chanel. Little do we know now, a year later, less than a year later, it's almost $10,000 for a classic flap, which is ridiculous. But I did have a black classic flap listed. Number one, we never got to go in stores. Every time I did go in stores, they always said they didn't have anything, whether it be the classic flap, whether it be the minis, cocoa handles, like everything that I like had on my list that I potentially wanted, never had anything in stock. So that was problem number one. People were saying that in Paris, they had a lot more stock available. But this past year, in my experience, at least in the stores that I went to, didn't have anything. I did, however, pick up the mini from a reseller. I actually made a whole video on it, unboxing and everything like that, so you can check it out here. And I feel like the mini was the best bang for my buck. I did pay a little bit over retail, given that there were like literally no minis in stores. But I feel like this is the best bang for your buck because you get the same capacity as a small. There's a ton of other YouTube videos where they do a size comparison between the mini and the small, how much it fits. You can fit pretty much the same amount of stuff. And honestly, this bag fits a lot. And given that I have the mini in black with gold hardware, I don't feel like there is an itch to buy a classic flap, especially at the price point that they're charging now. Last but not least, I'm hoping to add the Louis Vuitton Boutique Chapeau. The last bag that I had on the list was the Louis Vuitton Boîte Chapeau. And I think it's in the supple, whatever. So I think in the beginning of 2021, and we've kind of talked about this, especially if you've been on like my TikTok lives or just TikTok in general, we've definitely talked about this. And I feel like in the beginning of 2021, I was still very much like Louis Vuitton is my favorite brand. I loved Louis Vuitton at the time and I still do. And I love the pieces that I do have. But recently the things that they've been coming out with in the past year hasn't really like sparked any joy. And that bag, I kind of forgot about it. I think like I didn't really love it. I didn't, there was vachetta on it. So that's number one. You guys know how I feel about vachetta and I don't like that it darkens and it's not super carefree. And I think in general, I'm just kind of tired of monogram canvas. I have quite a few monogram canvas pieces and I'm kind of ready to just like move on is probably not the right word, but like move on. So I never ended up getting that and probably not gonna get it either. Unless they come out with that size in the empreinte leather, then I might consider it because you guys know I have a soft spot for empreinte. But in general, I don't really feel like it's missing in my collection and I'm kind of glad I didn't get it. Okay, so now let's talk about what I did end up getting, which like looking back and like putting all the notes together on my iPad, I realized we ended up getting a lot, but it's fine. Everything is fine. This is going to be in chronological order of like when I got it. So let's get started. We did get the Celine Belt Bag in February, which we talked about earlier. Also in February, I picked up these Tiffany cups, these bad boys. At the time, I was like, yeah, I need these Tiffany cups because I want to feel like a bougie drinking my coffee in the morning. And little did I know that they are too small. They just like don't hold the coffee that I needed to hold. I kind of regret this purchase, but honestly, it wasn't that much money. So it's kind of just something that we laugh about these days. Next, we ended up getting a Dior Twilly, I believe in June. And this is absolutely stunning. It is in a light pink kind of color. And I bought this because number one, we were shopping in South Coast Plaza with my friend. It wasn't a bad purchase because I love to wrap this around some of my bag handles. And I think in general that this is stunning. I mainly wanted to get this because I thought this would scratch the itch of wanting to buy the Toit de Jouy pattern, something in the Toit de Jouy pattern. Then I can say that like, hey, I have it, it scratches that itch, and we can move on. Little do we know, it doesn't scratch that itch, but I think that this is absolutely stunning. I am thinking of getting a matching one to tie for my Dior book tote, like tie two of the handles. But yeah, I do really like this. Next, on that same trip, we picked up two things from Hermes, one of which being these Oasis sandals. These are pretty much the Oran sandals that everybody else has, but these ones have a little bit of a heel to them. And originally going into it, I was gonna go with the Oran sandals, but then I ended up trying these ones on and they ended up being more comfortable than the Oran. And I think it's because of the heel. Maybe I have flat feet. Not really sure. On the same trip, I also picked up this Hermes belt, and I think I've worn this like 3 times tops in like the last 6 months that I got it. I think this is a very versatile belt, and I think the reason why I haven't worn it is just because we haven't like gone anywhere, or I like rarely wear pants that like require a belt these days. But the reason why I picked this up was because I was kind of feeling tired of my Gucci belts. It didn't have anything to do with the fact that like everyone on social media and TikTok was like calling it chuggy and out of style or whatever. I just like feel like I have gotten my use out of the Gucci belt. Like I wore that to death for about a year and a half, 2 years. So I definitely got my money's worth, and I ended up selling that belt to get this one. And my favorite thing about this belt is that it's reversible. So it's black on one side and then Hermes gold or brown on the other side. The nice thing about this is that you can replace the buckle if you ever feel tired with this buckle. You can buy a different buckle and then essentially you have a brand new belt. Next in July, we purchased the Chanel Mini, which we did talk about, so we're not gonna go into more details about that. And then later in July, I had heard rumors that Gucci and YSL were reducing their Hawaii pricing from about 20 to 25% discount from the mainland price to 10%. And your girl panicked because in May, I ended up selling the Super Mini Dionysus. If you haven't heard about that or haven't seen that video, I'll leave it linked for you guys here. But pretty much I was like, okay, this is the time to go, because otherwise, if I had waited until August when I went to Hawaii, I would have ended up paying probably like $200 more or something like that. So I had one of my very close friends, Cass, pick one up for me because she does live in Hawaii. We ended up getting the small Dionysus. This is the new small size, which I think is pretty similar in size to the Chanel medium. Yeah, in general, I do really like this. It is heavy, but what can you do? Next on this list is the Dior book tote. And this was one of my very few impulse purchases. I rarely make impulsive purchases because I feel like usually I will regret it down the road. I made a whole video about why this bag isn't worth it, and I still think that it's not worth it, but had I had to pay full price, I probably wouldn't have gotten it. I ended up saving 17% by buying this in Hawaii. If you're curious on how I saved 17%, I'll leave the video for you here. Yeah, I really like this. I think this is stunning. Probably not worth it, but we saved 17%. Next on this list are these Dior D-Way slides. Clearly have been in a Dior phase recently, and these were actually a gift. I do really like these, and they are more comfortable than I thought they were gonna be, and I feel like I reach for these more than the Hermes ones because these are flat bottoms, so they are a little bit more casual. Next, we have to talk about the Prada Crystal Re-Edition. I definitely did not think that I was gonna add this to my collection because although this bag is absolutely stunning, I knew that there was only a few places that I'd be able to wear this to. I knew that this bag was going to be trendy. I was worried about the wear and tear and the crystals falling off. Like there were so many other things that was the realistic side of me was like, okay, like don't buy this. This is going to be a waste of money. You're going to regret this purchase. But I don't have any regrets. I love this. I will be doing an unboxing and first impressions and what fits and how to style it, all of that. Moving on, we did get this Chanel card holder, and I'm so glad to finally be able to get my hands on this because I feel like I've been waiting for a really long time. I did end up selling the Louis Vuitton card holder, which then made this one $200 less, if that makes sense. Kind of, not really, but there was no need to have two card holders, two designer card holders. So I ended up selling that one and we got this one. Next, let's move on to jewelry. So this necklace is actually, I'll give you guys a close up here. But this is the Atlas necklace. This is now phased out. We ended up getting this for a Valentine's Day gift and I absolutely love it. I don't take it off. I wear this everywhere, all day, every day. Number one, because I'm lazy, but I do really like this. I think it matches with most of my styles and it's just so minimal that it works with pretty much everything. Next, we have this Tiffany T-wire ring, which also was part of my Christmas haul. I have been loving this style. I've been wanting something from this collection for a really long time. I just couldn't justify getting the bracelet because it did feel really flimsy. We did get a new bracelet from Van Cleef, which again was part of the Christmas haul. Everything was in December. I'm so sorry. So this is the Van Cleef Sweet Alhambra. I'll give you guys a close-up, but this is what she looks like on, especially stacked with the other bracelet that I do always wear anyways. It is in rose gold, and something that I do really like about this bracelet is that there's no like stone. Like the mother of pearl, if you wear it in the wash long enough, it will like shrink. So given that this bracelet doesn't have a stone, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about the stone falling off. I am really glad to have it, and it was a very, very nice Christmas gift. So that sums it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be doing a 2022 wish list. Let me know in the comments what was on your 2021 wish list and what you ended up getting, what you ended up not getting. So I'm definitely interested in seeing that. Please give this a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. I'll leave another video for you guys here, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.